Well, everyone, the funniest thing is that the iPhone 11 is by far one of the more interesting iPhones Apple has ever made. I loved this iPhone when it first came out, and honestly, it still is like a very good, good performing iPhone and a great iPhone in so many different ways. The only issue I would say with the iPhone 11 right now is, I would tell you, the exterior of this phone is starting to show its age quite a bit, even more so than, I would say, even more so than it did before. Now, I love the iPhone, 11. I think this was a really, really good iPhone when it first came out. But the thing is that when I just went ahead and compared this iPhone against the iPhone 12, there's really only one generation of difference between these two devices. But it was super crazy to me because I never really noticed the amount of differences between the iPhone 12 and 11 from an exterior standpoint. When I compare the iPhone 11 against the iPhone 15, there are, massive differences. There are so many differences between these devices, curved side versus flat side, OLED panel versus like an IPS panel. The list goes on and on. Even the much higher resolution panel on the iPhone 15 is so much better. But then you get something like the iPhone 12, which when I compare the iPhone 12 against the iPhone 15, clearly there are differences and there's, a lot of differences at that, but there are still lots and lots of similarities between these two devices, which is another super crazy thing in my, opinion. So when I look at these devices, I already look at devices that are, honestly very, very different between them, between the iPhone 12 and 11, and that was only, basically one generation of difference between them, which is actually insane. So how does that basically leave us now? Well, I look at a device like the iPhone 11, and I do kind of think that it is kind of like a weird type of iPhone, to be honest. I don't mean that in like the most negative way possible, but what I mean is if you're going to go ahead and buy some sort of an iPhone, you might be seeing that on, an iPhone 11, you might be getting a much older version, an older feeling iPhone than you would have probably ever felt before. And I don't want, to recommend an iPhone to people if that iPhone is already going to feel outdated, if it's already going to be bad or anything like that. And the iPhone 11 is not a bad iPhone. This is a very good iPhone. I'm a massive fan of this particular device. The only issue with, the iPhone 11 is that the body of it just really isn't that great. And like I said, I wouldn't really want to recommend a phone to people if it's already going to be, that outdated, and if it's already going to feel kind of bad from that perspective. So as of this point, I think the iPhone 11 is a little bit of a weird device right now. Again, it's not an ugly device and it's a very, very good device for the most part, but you are actually pretty much getting a much better device in almost every single way on some of the newer devices like the iPhone 12 and iPhone 13 than for something like the iPhone 11. There's a pretty big difference here for sure. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.